The library
is open.
Look ahead, touch the sky, hold the hand, see, cry, peace up, be free, do you wanna be? I wanna be me.
You know, I think it's just something that you're picking up of another person. You're able to tell. It's a tell, and it doesn't mean that it's a physical tell. It's more of I think it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. And like usually, I live in LA. So this is my experience as a privileged in LA. But usually people want to be seen as queer here. So when I like clock them, they're like, oh, thank God.
Gaydar is that special ability that a lot of gay people have or queer people have where you're able to just spot if somebody else is queer.
So when somebody comes into a space, you look them up and down and you're like, that's family. That's your gaydar, right? It goes off when you're in a space and you're like, he's cute, but is he gay though? Then your gaydar kicks in, you're like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then sometimes it goes off, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you're wrong. So be careful.
I think that gaydar is like kind of a double-edged sword because it can be like really offensive if you're like clocking someone who is not queer or trans or in the spectrum of it all. But yeah, it's just something that you use to clock somebody that's a part of our community.
It is the ability to use all of your senses, your hearing, your eyes, mostly just for looking at their hair, your smell, to be able to sense whether they are a queer person in possession of themselves or sometimes a queer person not in possession of themselves. I, before that, always just called them unhatched homosexuals. But sometimes you see people about you and you understand that they have something of the gay about them, and you sense it in your mind because we're vampires.
It's a sixth sense almost. It speaks to a particular queer person's skills if they have accurate gaydar. I'm always befuddled by queer folks who have terrible gaydar.
Historically, mine was very poor, but it has got a lot better lately.
I'm pretty confident about my gaydar, unless it's a German lady.
Of course I have gaydar. Look, it's not the best gaydar on the planet, but can I smell a homosexual? 80% of the time.
I'm like surprised a lot, and sometimes I'm upset because I'm like, you look so queer and you act so queer, but you're not. But it's fine, We're good at looking cool and doing cool shit, and everyone wants to get on board.
It's a little bit controversial, I think, because you can't really tell based on what someone looks like. But then, and this is definitely controversial, but I do it anyway. I do. I'm guilty of assuming someone's queer and then feeling like I have really good gaydar and feeling like proud of it.
Gay, gay.